Hey guys, it's Lisa from TwoCreateAWebsite.com. I am back reviewing another site. I haven't done a site review case study in a long time. You guys have been asking me to do these, so your wish is my command. So the blog that I am reviewing today is called Flightster, and it is owned by a gentleman named Srinivas Rao, and I hope I'm not butchering your name too badly, Srinivas. Forgive me if I am. So what I'm going to do with this site review / case study is talk about the pros, the things that I like, and then talk about some areas that I think need improvement. And at the end, I'm going to talk about some ways that Srinivas told me that he used to build traffic to this blog, because it's quite impressive. It took him only a couple months to build 14,000 page views per month. So I will talk a little bit about that at the end. So the first thing I like about this blog is that it's very clean. I love the subtle, sort of like a pinstripe background. It's very subtle, but it looks nice. I'm a sucker for a clean blog, not a lot of ads everywhere. It really just focuses on the content right here up top. The other thing that stands out to me are the high quality graphics. Tons of high quality pictures on this site. Never underestimate what a good image or good images can do for your website. A lot of you guys are stealing images from other people's sites, and you're opening up in these editor programs and you're resizing, you're distorting them. They look all pixelated, and there's nothing worse than a site with a bunch of low quality pixelated graphics. Even if you have to take your pictures yourself, I would rather do that. First of all, it's cheaper than subscribing to a photo site like photos.com. Take them yourself and resize them and put them on your blog. And that way you don't have to worry about copyrights or anything like that. So that was a big favorite of mine for this blog. The other thing that I liked about this blog is that there are teasers over here on the right side that link to other posts on the blog, which is really cool. So when you hover, it turns red like that. Very neat way to call out other content on your blog. I haven't seen that too often on too many blogs, at least not in this way. So I thought that was pretty cool. The other thing I like about the blog is that the content is very clean, lots of small paragraphs, a large font. I think you should always use at least a 14-point font because it makes it easier to read. And then use, of course, a lot of small paragraphs, lots of subtitles, because you don't want to give your readers a headache. I hate going to sites and having to read paragraphs that are 20 lines long, and then the font is like 8 point. It's too much. So this is a very, very clean presentation for the content. Now let's move on to the areas that I think need a little bit of improvement. The first thing that sticks out to me is that there is no tagline here. So if I'm just stumbling upon this blog and I see Flightster, I'm going to assume it has something to do with flights or travel or something like that, but that's all it tells me. And I had to go to the About page, which is way over here in the corner, this small little link, to find out that this is actually a collaboration blog that's written by other travelers, which I thought is a very, very great concept. But I wouldn't have known that unless I came over here and clicked the About page. So you don't want people to hunt and peck, because you can't assume people are going to read every page on your site. That is the biggest misconception I think a lot of people have. You assume that people are going to read all of your pages. They're not. They're not going to assume that, oh, this is a travel blog written by other travelers. They're going to see that article, and if it interests them, fine. If it doesn't, they're on to the next blog. But if there was some type of tagline up here that said, I don't know, the travel blog written by you, for you, or something like that, that lets me know that, hey, there are other travelers that are going to be writing for this blog and sharing their stories, their experiences. That's a great, great concept. In fact, when you go to the About page, this line right here, Flightster is being built by you. Actual travelers who are sick of the same old travel search websites. I would love to see that tagline right here under the logo or somewhere at the top of the blog in a common area so people can say, oh, cool, this is a blog written by different people. So maybe I don't want to read Lauren Rain's article about solo travel, but maybe next week there'll be an article that I'll be interested in. So let me bookmark this and come back later. Don't ever assume people are going to get what your site is about just by looking at the homepage or the logo. The other thing that stuck out to me with this blog is that I didn't feel it did a good enough job of cross-promoting its own content. If I want to find additional content or categories other than these teasers over here, I had to go all the way down to the bottom of the blog. And you guys can't even see it because of the resolution of this recording software, but there are links to the very, very bottom of the blog, and that's where you can find the post categories: destination, travel, and travel tips. I would have loved to have seen that somewhere up here, somewhere maybe below the newsletter. You never want to make people hunt for your additional content, because you can't always assume that whatever your latest post or whatever page they happen to be on is going to interest them. Maybe they will be interested in something else. So you always want to give people a chance to see your body of work. The other thing I noticed was this newsletter box here. It's great to have your newsletter subscription box in a prominent location. I think that's good. But the one thing I wondered was, if I sign up for this, is this only going to be for the booking engine notification? What if I'm not interested in when your booking engine launches? Are you going to send other updates with this newsletter? So are you leaving out people who may want to subscribe, but maybe they don't care about the booking engine updates, but maybe they want to subscribe to keep up with other things? Now, if this newsletter is only for the booking engine updates or when it launches, that's fine. But if this is a newsletter for the blog where you send other things, I want to know that here, because maybe I'm not interested in when you launch your booking engine, but maybe I want to stay updated on other things. So if this newsletter is in fact for other areas and other things about this site, then I want to know that here. Again, you always have to think about selling people. What's in it for them? What are people going to want to know? How can I get people interested? How can I make them subscribe? Show more of your content right above the fold so people can see your most recent posts, your categories. And I think that was probably the biggest complaint I would have for this blog. Overall, it's a great blog, but I think it could do a better job of cross-promoting its own content. And I think a lot of you guys struggle with that too, because with a blog, by default, your content is just organized by date and category. So if your theme does not cross-promote your content very well, you just leave it like that. And you don't make use of static pages, and you don't promote your most commented posts and all that. Show people your best. I want to see more content. What do you have a post that got, 50 comments? Where is that? Where are your popular posts? That's the stuff I want to see as well. Now I want to talk about some of the things that Serenivus did to generate traffic and build this blog up. As I mentioned, this is a collaboration blog, meaning there's a lot of authors, as you can see here on their About page. And Serenivus mentioned that he already followed a lot of these people before he created this blog. So he already had contacts. So he also had a $2,500 per month budget on this blog as well. Money always talks. So he was able to recruit these people to write for his blog. It's always great to have social contacts, and that's the wonderful thing about social media these days. A lot of you guys are getting it twisted. You think social media is about going on Facebook or Twitter and just tweeting your link to your blog post everywhere. And it's really more than that. It's really about making connections, meeting people, building relationships. And so Serenivus was able to use these relationships to build authors for this blog. And another thing he did, he used social media to develop a contest. I am such a believer in contests if you can get them to work, and that can take some trial and error. But what he did is he had people write posts on their blog and then link to the Flightster blog, and then they had to retweet the post with the hashtag of Flightster. And so throughout this contest, of course, Flightster's getting all of these links and exposure, and the winner of the contest actually got to write for the blog. So he used the contest to not only get a new writer for the blog, but to also generate interest. And that's what a contest should do. You don't just want to offer a great prize. You also want to use it to promote whatever your site is or whatever you're trying to highlight. And so he used Twitter and social media and contests to help drive traffic to his blog. And I really think that's what a lot of people are not doing these days. At least they're not doing it effectively. They think that posting to Twitter every day and promoting their links is enough. But you really have to get creative and interact with people, build relationships. That's the key to social networking. Overall, I think this blog is very well done. I think it's a great concept, having a collection of authors writing about their own travel experiences. So if you travel a lot or you just like to travel, you might want to check the blog out, read some of the stories. I'm sure you'll be able to relate to some of them. And maybe if you want to write for this blog, maybe there's some opportunity there for you as well. Go check it out. Overall, I think they did a great job on it. The biggest criticism, as I said earlier, is just not doing enough cross promotion of the existing content, because you guys really have some good articles on this blog, but they're hard to find. So I hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.